Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy CJ. So I'm gonna try to make this tutorial as quick as possible. We're gonna be going over cards for Flyff. Flyff has pretty much, I guess, like three. Well, it says there's three, but there's not too much of a big difference between them. We're gonna be going over Flyff's elemental cards. This is gonna be a general explanation and a guide to the cards, what they do, how to put them on, and things like that. So let's get into it. So there are three types of cards. There are elemental cards, there are suit cards, and there are weapon slash shield cards. Think about the suit and the shield cards. They do specific things to help fine tune your play style. So it lets you make things that could be out of the ordinary, or double down on the class that you want to make. Some of these cards definitely are more useful than others, but we'll go into it. So we'll start with elemental cards. All right. Well, elemental cards, you could upgrade them to 20. All right. All of them you can upgrade to 20. But the thing about it is your first two levels are guaranteed whenever you upgrade them. The way you upgrade them, you click on the card in your inventory, and then you click on the card into inventory and you put it onto that weapon that you want. Okay. So there's fire, there's desert, there's cyclone, there's generator, and then there's river. Fire, earth, wind, electricity, and water. All right. So you could upgrade them all the way to 20. After their first two, say it says it right here, +1 and +2 are 100% successful. +3 is not 100% successful, but it will cause you to lose the card, but you will not break your weapon. Okay, your weapon will not be gone. So that third one could be a little tricky sometimes. Sometimes you just hit successful, just goes 1, 2, 3, then you're done. But on the fourth one, your item has a chance to break. Okay, don't risk it. You have scrolls, literally S protect scrolls. These scrolls are used to protect items from breaking if an upgrade is failed. Okay. Later on, you're gonna be wanting to use the scroll of smithing. So the elemental scroll of smithing. This scroll, it helps increase your elemental upgrades by 10%. It can be stacked up to 10 times. These have their respective prices on the market, so definitely don't try to waste too much time on regular weapons. You want to use these on like greens and things like that to help your gear be better. Okay. What's the purpose of the elemental weapons, the elements to begin with? What's the whole purpose? Well, in any video game that we actually do, have a difference between every element. Something's weak and something's strong against something. Well, here's the chart right here. You legit have the chart. So fire is weak to water. Water is weak to electricity. Electricity is weak to earth, and earth is weak to wind, and wind is weak to fire. So that's how that works. So whenever you try to do more damage, if it's fire, you want to use electricity, and so on and so forth. So if you are trying to defend against a certain element, then know that if they use fire, then you want to have water onto it. So if you're trying to farm a certain creature and you're just power farming through, you can deal more damage and take less damage if you use the corresponding element to that. All right. You also have the scrolls that can change in elements. Okay, so these are scrolls of elemental change. They help. They help change the element for it. Those you pretty much know what you're gonna go for if you just do everything correctly. You don't have to worry about switching, or if you're just trying to switch it over to another one, then there you go. The explanation for it right here. Scroll of element change, which allows for the switching of elements without the loss of the upgrade itself. Okay, so there you go. It's right there. I hope you guys are able to see it. I actually made it a little bit bigger so you guys will be able to pretty much read it, so you can pause and read it on your own, things like that. So now that we're going through all this, we can actually check out how they look. They have a nice unique glow to them when they're plus 20. The farther they go, the more of a glow and a shine and a different type of look to it. So here's the fire, wind, earth, the water. There they are right there. All right, so that's the basic elements. Nothing really to it. It's bare bones. You counter pick for the damage. They go to plus 10. Your first two are free. Your third one is rough, but you don't lose your weapon. Everything after that, you want to use the S protect. There is a better way of doing this. It's called the safe upgrade, safe elemental upgrade. All right, the way you would do it is you would go to one of the blacksmiths. So let's I believe it's Bobo. Yeah, it's Bobo-chan. So Bobo-chan and Flarine and Central Flarine, he'll be having like piercing and stuff like that, but he'll also have the safes, which is safe upgrade, safe piercing and stuff like that. Basically, it'll give you a rose to put whatever you're gonna be using, say the elemental card you're gonna be using, all that, and then you have the scroll slot right in there. So safe elemental upgrade, it gives you 10 tries all at once. All right, it's a little bit faster than having to click and then having to click, scroll down, click the open the scroll and do it all that way. You actually can do it. It'll bring up something similar to this. So you'll put the cards right here. If you're doing piercing, that's exactly what the piercing ones. You can put it all there. You put your scrolls all there. All right, and then you put your item up at the top. Okay, this is so that everything goes nice, fast, easy. If you want to reset, you can reset. But once you do it all right, you have everything there. Then you press start. It'll use every single one of them. It'll tell you which one's successful. It'll also tell you onto the side individually which one's successful. It'll go all the way down. I would love to have it do it all at once, but hey, this is more entertaining. You get to see successful. Sorry, bro. Successful feels bad. It'll go right down the line, and then you can do it again until it's like 20. All right, so you don't have to wait. It'll be a lot faster and a lot safer just having the scrolls and stuff like that. So that's for the piercing. Let's go to the suits. All right, so each element has their suit card. So the suit socket cards, what they are is you pierce to make a socket for whether it's your weapon, whether it's for your weapon or your gear. So it's either your weapon or your gear or your shield. Your shield and weapon ones are together. So the weapon and shield sockets, those go together. The suit sockets are for your chest piece, your snapback, you got your J's, so your head, shoulders, knees, and toes, all that crap. So what you're gonna need for that is to pierce it, which takes right here moonstones. You go to just do safe piercing. You don't have to do it on that. You can just go to safe piercing and use that after you've done your first 3. So there you go. It's all the same thing as if you were doing it from beforehand. So once you pierce it, it'll give it a slot. It'll say like 1 of 2. If actually it'll say 0 of 1 once you do it the first time. The second number is how many slots you have. The number in front of it is how many is filled. So the second one is your full, and then is your total slots. Your first one is your is how many you have used or in use right now. So now that we know that we can put them in the slots, you can put a slot on your chest piece or your shield or your weapon. The suit ones are specifically for your clothing. So your headpiece, your chest, and all that. You're going to be using these specifically for percentages of whatever they're used for. So you have your volcanic. This is for percentage of your HP. It gives you a portion of additional. It gives you a percentage of your AP in addition to what you have. So you have your 2%. I'm a whole milk type of guy myself, but there's 2%, there's 3%, there's 4%, and there's 7%. That's the ones that you're mostly going to be seeing coming up into mid game. you're going towards late game, you'll see the 7% a little bit more. These are to fine tune, specifically what you need. If you're trying to be a tank, volcanic is the way. Volcanic is the way you want to go. So then you have your defense. If you're trying to be a little bit more, take a little bit less damage, whether you're trying to combine it with your volcanic or not. Your earthquake will definitely be a little bit more towards taking less damage. The other one's just for having a lot of health. This one is for taking less damage. They work very well together. There's 2, 3, 4. They all go that same way. 2, 3, 4% of what your max is, and it gives you that in addition to what you already have. So you have your FP, your attack, and your MP. Your attack is really, really solid as well. It only gives you the attack stat. There's nothing really much else there. You can also get these for farming. You can also get pieces of them if you're going to do the collector. You can pretty much find them like in the store. People sell cards all the time, so you pretty much find them, except for the higher end 10 and 12s. You're gonna have to go out and get those. You'll rarely see people actually selling those unless they're trying to make a pretty penny. So FP, if you're trying to get FP, get yourself a little bit more FP or MP. That's what the vacuum and the ocean. Lightning is legit just for the attack. You want to get 2% of your attack. There you go. Have it work for you. So those only go into your armor. Now your weapons and your shield, you have the fire card, you have the electric card, the wind, you have the water, and then you have the land card. These have specific stats and a little bit of extra stat to go in just so that you can legit build a different play style with what you want. If you want to make a assist that's all about the stun in the build poster, it's a basic assist skill. You want to get that stun more often and go for an attack speed and crit type of build so you can stun them and then beat them while they're stunned. You can take the element for electric. So the electric card will definitely be there for you. It'll give you dex. It'll also give you the 1% crit. So while you stun them, you can do whatever. You can deal your percentage of the crit. You can crit more often with it. Your fire, we can go down the line. The fire gives you strength. All right, it gives you strength, and from fire C and above, you'll get 1 to 2 or maybe even 4 crit. Your S and your R's will probably be used for late game. You really won't be using those up front in the early to mid game. They are way more valuable. That's just a tip from me to you. Unless you got money like that, I believe in you. There are some limitations a little bit, but other than that, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So A, B's, and C's are what you're gonna be using while you're moving on up. So you have your strength. It's gonna give you. Your fire's gonna give you plus 3 strength. You're gonna get 1% crit. Hit, increased crit hit. So additional crit hit. That's okay. That's all right. You're gonna be doing more with. Damage when it comes to like being a blade or something like that. That's what mostly are gonna be used for this. You have your electric card, which is dexed. You're gonna be using this a little bit more on. You're gonna be using this a little bit more on if you're gonna go a dex based blade. Anything that's attack speed based, like an archer. You're gonna be using that for just getting more attacks in because it increases your dex, and then it gives you a little bit of additional crit percentage. So you have the additional crit damage and strength. You have the additional crit percentage in electricity. Your wind will give you attack speed a little bit on the back end, but it'll give you movement speed. Not too many people actually use this too much unless they're trying to make gear for later on. I believe it's more useful in the late game than it is in the early game. So there you go. I think these would be a lot more useful if you are actually able to put these on costumes. I think that would be fairly useful for the speed and a little bit of attack, like things like that. I think that would actually be pretty decent. So your water card is going to give you intelligence. These are for your spellcasters, and then you're going to be using the reduced cast time. You know, maybe you want to get your buffs on just a little bit faster. You want to cast spells if you're a mage in the combat mage area, so that helps a ton. That really does help you get a lot of damage through, or make your buffs and stuff a little bit more effective. So then you have your land cards, which is really just for your land cards is really just for tankiness. You just want to get your stamina, take a lot more hits, and then later on into that, it gives you the S and the R gives you the S gives you 500 HP, which is nothing to laugh at. It's another partial hit or two, and then you have your plus 15 and 5% instead of 500. In the later game, the 5% is way more effective, but you're not going to be using those until you're in the back end of it. So that is the elemental cards. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you guys a brief overview. I know it's like a 17 minute long video, but I wanted to give you guys, a tip on how things are going with these elemental cards. A lot of people don't understand how they work, and I see a lot of videos that have been I guess out of date, or just haven't seen any that legit just breaks it down for you. So thank you so much for jamming out. If you like the content and would like to see more information or have any questions, definitely comment down below. Like it helps me know what you guys like, and helps me reach other people so that they can also get this information. You guys, please be safe and careful. Have an awesome time. I'll check you guys later.